call the council meeting to order. First item would be adoption of the agenda.
Move.
On adoption, all those in favor? Motion's carried. Just take notice that there will be a public hearing at 6:30 in council chambers to consider the rezoning application for 1501 to 1532 High Ridge Drive. So if we haven't completed the agenda by then, we'll adjourn for that. Otherwise, we'll proceed. There are no delegations this evening. We do have for approval the minutes of the council meeting of October 4th.
Move.
Second.
Approval, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. We also have for approval the minutes of the public hearing held on October. Moved and seconded.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor? Minutes are approved. And then for receipt, the committee of the whole meeting minutes of October 11th.
Move receipt.
Second.
Receipt, all those in favor? Motion's carried. There are no specific recommendations coming forward from that, so we'll move on to unfinished business. We have the manager report at page 17 for receipt.
Second.
Receipt, all those in favor? Motion is carried. Any questions arising out of the manager report? Councillor Swift.
Are we on track for the MNBC coming out in November?
Yes.
Yes.
November 1st, according to the script that I was reading.
And I know it's not
There's a video coming up.
Yeah.
And by the way, MNBC is
Yeah, recycle.
recycling. So, yes?
Yeah, and just the standard question about Mac Lane, we're still waiting upon various groups to get back to us.
Yes, we're waiting for the response from the Attorney General's office on the next step.
Okay, and I understand, speaking to the CAO, that regarding Northeast Comox, that you're getting closer to some resolutions. In any event, there will be a presentation to council either at or before the strategic planning session, which is tentatively set now for November 22nd.
22nd, yes.
So that'll be part of the committee of the whole that day.
November 22nd.
Yes, 4:15. And we're bringing in also same facilitator we had last year. Yes. Allison Hapker. So you'll get notice of that, and as I say, we'll hopefully have an update further on the plan at that point. Anything else? Seeing none, we'll move on to the rezoning application. This is for third reading and adoption of the home occupation text amendment.
Move third reading.
I'll second it.
That's bylaw 1867. Any discussion at third reading? Seeing none, all those in favor?
And I move adoption.
Second.
Motion's carried. And on adoption, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. So your amendment has passed.
Thank you so much.
Are we able to go out and celebrate now?
You can. Just before that, I'm sure Councillor Arnott wanted to say something about sitting there waiting on pins and needles.
Thank you so much for working on this. We really appreciate it.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Well, I'll try my best.
thank you.
We want to help people to become healthy. Yeah.
Try your best on Ken. But
Yeah.
Bye, Marlon. Bye, Jim.
All right, so we'll move on now to the rezoning amendment, so B&B accommodation secondary suites for third reading.
Move third reading.
Second.
Third reading, any discussion? Seeing none, all
Hi,
those-
just one quick question, and I guess the suggestion had been the application fee of 520, and I guess that makes it so we're not covering our costs.
Yeah, we're going to deal with that under the third recommendation, so we can maybe talk about it there.
Okay.
So at third reading, all those in favor? Motion's carried.
Move adoption.
Second.
Adoption, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. And the third recommendation is that staff be directed to prepare for council consideration amendment to the planning procedure bylaw to establish for a zoning amendment to permit bed and breakfast accommodation on a parcel in combination with a secondary suite or coach house, $1,020 application fee, no requirement to erect a on-site development application sign, and limitation of the mail-out notification of public hearing to adjacent property owners and tenants.
I'll move that.
Second.
Second, and Councillor Price?
Yes, so the 520 just is too much of a loss, is it, to go at that rate? And when we have had application fees that are at a loss, it's more that we're encouraging that process to happen. Is that correct? Yes.
So, for example, home occupations, our advertising fee is $500. We would have spent more than $20 in staff time processing the rezoning. Coach houses is even lower, so it's a greater subsidy. If we want to keep it in the range of cost recovery, then $1,000 is recommended.
Okay, any other questions?
I just, like our application fees are generally based on the cost for us to deal with the application.
Correct.
So that's where it comes from. Okay, fair enough.
Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, so that moves us on to correspondence. So we have a letter from the Legion.
Move receipt.
Second.
Receipt then, all those in favor? Motion's carried. So this is the standard letter we get regarding the upcoming Remembrance Day Parade ceremonies, as well as the Candlelight Remembrance Ceremony on the evening before. And I'm assuming, CEO, that the use of Comox Avenue for those requirements as outlined in the letter is standard.
Yes.
And of course, we'll provide them with a letter for the flyby. No lower than 500 feet, so
No, wait, the standard RPA system doesn't work very good. Well, did we? Okay.
yeah. All right, so we move to receive. We don't have to do anything specific other than write the letter. Right.
Just a curiosity
Yes, sir.
question, Your Worship, is that a couple of years ago, after the Remembrance Day ceremony, there was some talk about moving the site. And
Every Remembrance Day is
that has not gone anywhere, obviously.
Nope. Councilor Arnott was.
Yeah, I met with them about 3 years ago and offered my assistance with liaising with the wing, with the CE department there, who was the construction folks and the town, and they said they'd discuss it at a future meeting. I haven't heard anything since.
And I took it on well before that, and same outcome. So,
Yeah, so we tried.
everybody wants to do it, hasn't, nobody wants to die.
However, at the present site, it is a wonderful event. And
Yeah.
well received here.
It works reasonably well, given the number of people that do come out in increasing numbers every year, it seems. All right, so that letter's been received, and we'll send them a letter on the fly past. No other late items or delegations, so reports from members of council. We'll start with Councillor Kendricks.
Oh, for once, I'm ready. So yesterday at our regional district meeting, we had a water meeting starting at 12:30, went till about just short of 4 o'clock. So and this was kind of the big meeting. We approved the going ahead with the water plant for $110 million. So our treatment project. We will be going to alternate assent process for up to $29 million, and it was decided that rather than a referendum, because this has been ordered from above. We really don't have any choice in it. A referendum would cost about $60,000 to do, and it just seemed like this was a better way to go, in that you really don't want to run the risk of having the public come and possibly say no. So we have to do it, so that's why we did it. We also talked about UV filtration. This will be interesting after today's rainstorm. Approximately $1 million to put UV filtration on our current system, and that should reduce the boil water advisories by about 80%. So it will allow VHA to give us a minimum of 2 NTU standard instead of the 1 that we have, and that would eliminate about 80%. So $400,000 of that is the cost of the UV lights. $600,000 will be to install them on the current system. The $400,000 can be transferred to the new plant, so it's not a complete loss of $1 million, but it should help us out for the next 3 years as we wait for that to happen. And communications budget that was approved for $350,000 over the next 5 years with Zinc Communications, specifically for the water plant. 83% of that will be funded by grant money. So that's where we're going with the water plant. Hopefully by January, I've heard almost the last of boil water, and we're all going forward in the same In the same vein, we're looking for about $55 million worth of grant funding for this project, which is a lot of money when you consider that we have about 50,000 people on the thing. That's $1,000 a person. So we're asking for a lot of grant money. If you look at it by percentage, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is a big number. So we're hoping to do that. Also at the regional district, the transit bus stop at the hospital was decided will stay on Lerwick just because it's really not feasible to go through the hospital grounds. And the regional health committee that came, they were here, and they've been at the regional district. The RD is going to give us a report and do a little study and give us the pros and cons on that. So that's what we did yesterday.
Councillor Knapp.
Yeah, well, I wasn't at the last regular council, so I actually have a few things to say. I was at a BIA meeting, regular one was just prior to the last regular council meeting. Last night attended the BIA AGM with Mayor Ives and Councillor Grant and McKinnon were there, and they have a new board, and so the next regular BIA meeting they will vote and elect their president and vice president. And Richard DeLuca will be stepping down eventually once the new president gets settled in. And he's done a great job, and he's taken the BIA, I believe, to a whole different place, and it's good to work with that group the last year. I did attend a community justice volunteer dinner, and as usual, they have a great group of people that they recognize every year, so that was nice. I attended the Glacier View Lodge meeting. I think that was with you, but because I wasn't here, I didn't record it. And I got to grab things out of the sky now to record. So I did attend that, and that was interesting, and I think that's it.
All right. Councillor Swift.
I attended the regular Philburg board meeting, and the preliminary numbers in from the festival look like the profits are up from last year, so they were pleased about that. Yep. And today I attended a lunch in honor of Persons Day.
All right.
Persons.
Okay.
Persons.
Well, it's really a promotion for women and women in politics.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Councillor Price.
Yes, and Councillor Grant did a very good job. I was also at the Water Committee yesterday and the Committee of the Whole. And basically, as he outlined, everything was approved. And based on 50% grants for the whole project, one of the pushes that we have to make is that the whole project is essential and cannot, there are some things aren't frills like the deep water intake. At the moment there is a move to say the filtration is the water treatment and not to consider the others grant eligible. But based on the whole package, which I think we're going to do a good job to show it's all necessary, and Dr. Enns agreed that she would be supporting the whole project. And based on 50% grants for that and the money in reserves, we are looking at an increase of $69 per household in Comox in 2021. And I also attended the Integrated Regional Transportation Committee, and again stressed that we are only supporting a multi-use path, and that should be the focus rather than working on a service. And we should be seeing a presentation coming to us. So I think the move was to break out the cycling part of it and see the rest as a long-term project. But clearly, unless we have the whole project that's open to everyone, it's not going to be supported. So that's where that stands at the moment, and that's my report.
Okay, great. Councillor McKinnon.
Yes, briefly attended the Chamber of Commerce social at the Philburg on October 10th, and they had a lively panel there of local businesses regarding the federal Liberal tax proposals. Lively is a good adjective, but it was very well attended and a good event. October 12th, the Comox Valley Resource Fair at the the Courtney Recreation Center. All the local support agencies were on display there, and a good turnout for that. I was at the Comox BIA AGM, and kudos to our mayor and our council rep for speaking so eloquently last night. Kudos to both of you, particularly the mayor. Kudos to you.
Double kudos.
He used the word kudos last night. So
Used up your quota.
Your Buddha quota.
Yeah, so go over the year. That's lifetime, actually.
My last point is that I'm suggesting coffee with councillors on either this Saturday at the Twin Sail Buildings or next Saturday, the 28th, from 11 to 12:30. And if it works out for everybody, we could go 2 shifts of 45 minutes each, or 3 councillors maximum doing the 11 to 12:30. So if councillors could let me know before they leave which of those 2 Saturdays they prefer, if it works, great. If it doesn't work on either date, we'll go back to the drawing board next time. That's my report. Thank you.
How would you communicate that to the public that you're going to have it?
2 ways. Discuss that with staff, and we're looking at the local radio stations, the local residents association that will be notified, and yeah, those 2, and on Facebook.
So wouldn't it be better to give more notice than less? I'm just suggesting perhaps 2 or 3 days might not be enough notice.
Thought about that, but I'm not sure if that type of event is something that a lot of promotion in advance is going to draw people to it. The selection of the Twin Sails buildings with people walking by a lot anyway might draw the traffic in and highlight our new Twin Sails buildings on a Saturday. And we thought we'd give this a go this way and see how it works out. And again, a good PR opportunity with our Twin Sail buildings as well.
Yeah, and you're aware of the other event that's being held at St. Joe's this Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock.
Hence my offer of this Saturday or next Saturday.
So anyway, I'll let you guys figure that out.
Yeah.
Councillor Grant.
Thank you. I attended the senior board meeting. Lots of good things are happening there, of course, as usual. In particular, on November the 19th, Pam Mountain, the chair of our Comox Museum and Archives, is presenting a brief history of Dusty Destaire and why he is so recognized in our town. If anyone's interested in attending, please let me know. I will be pleased to make sure that there's a chair for you. Also, I attended the BIA, and I think I need not say any more there. And I also attended the Person's Day Lunch. And I don't need to say too much more there. Thank you. That's my report.
All right. I'll report on a few things since our last council meeting. Attended the Reader's Choice Awards at Crown Isle last Tuesday, and we were able to pick up a few awards for the water park. There were also awards for the rec center as well as the festivals. So I think Comox overall did quite well in being recognized for all the amenities that we have in our community, and particularly the new water park, well appreciated. Met last week with the proponent for some possible use of aeronautical industrial land down by the traffic circles. So staff are working with that proponent at this time to see what might come of that. And it might be an interesting project as it comes forward, and perhaps the first opportunity for us to look at economic development in that area in a tangible way. BIA meeting was referenced last night. Good to see a lot of people out there are engaged in that organization, which has come a long way in the almost 15 years that it's been going, so that's quite remarkable. Today I attended at North Island College a Talk Tech presentation by Graham Truax of Innovation Island. It was sponsored in part by ECDEV, and it was a good discussion around the way forward in terms of the tech industry, and the Kelowna experience recently was promoted as a possible example for the Comox Valley to follow as we go forward. And I've been doing a bit of video and audio for the upcoming Recycle BC program. I think probably the audio is going to be best, as you know. I've probably got the best face for radio. And the audio stuff we just finished up this afternoon. So coming up here in the next couple of weeks, you'll see some of that coming forward. And also sat in on the Water Committee meeting, and I was very pleased to see unanimous votes going forward on all those resolutions. So onwards and upwards as we go towards resolving that big issue for the community. And that is my report. The agenda, I believe, is complete, unless there's nobody here to ask questions other than us. So, with that, unless there's anything further, we'll adjourn the council meeting, and the public hearing will commence at 6:30 under the chairpersonship of Councillor Bryce. As you know, I have declared a conflict on that matter as a resident of the area. So, motion to adjourn would be in order.
Move.
All those in favor? Meeting adjourned.